If I had to reach 35K a month again from scratch, I'd do exactly this. Let me just walk you through the process. So in 2019, I had 31 pence in my bank account, okay? Not 31 pounds, 31 pence. There's a screenshot of my Monzo bank balance there back in the day. I had loan sharks at the door. I was drinking most nights to forget how bad my situation was. And a few years later, I managed to build a business to $35,000 a month and then did it again and again. So these screenshots just show the cash that I collected, 63K payment, 42K payment, 11K there. And it's about $153,000 or 119K GBP. And currently I make around 75K a month without paid ads or a big following, okay? And I don't simply share this to flex or impress you or anything like that, but just to give you a bit of an insight, this model has allowed me to travel to over 25 countries, and I even purchased a compound in Europe while running my dream business. Do cool shit like this every day. Compound here. This is the compound we got in Europe. So super nice base of operations. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I did all of this stuff, what I do if I lost it all tomorrow, and how I clawed my way back to 35K a month from scratch, the exact steps in the exact order. So if you're starting from zero or you can't seem to break past like 30K a month, this is the video that saves you all the years of pain that I went through. But before I get into it, I wanted to share a few results from my students that I'm extremely proud of. So we got Yusuf here. He runs an agency. He signed a 5K a month client in his first few weeks. And then we had here Yusuf again hitting 16K a month in his first 3 weeks since working with me. Ilio here, who runs an agency, signed a 5.4K a month retainer in his first 30 days. And the same student hitting his first 10K a month inside working with me. He actually hit 12,000 USD. Jack here secured a 9K a month deal with BitMEX, who are a $1 trillion company in terms of transactions. So you can see here, he closed for 9K a month. This screenshot shows my student Adam signing a 3K a month client in his first 3 weeks, 3K GBP. And this is probably one of my favorite student results. So this shows Gonzalo securing a 10-month contract for 7K a month, working just 2 days a week from Panama. Okay, so he traveled to the Caribbean, secured a 10-month contract for 7K a month, just working 2 days a week. He's clearly happy with that. He signed with a big manufacturing firm, and they also hired him as their European and US technical sales rep. So he's not only doing like client acquisition for them, he's also helping them build out their sales process as well. So there'll probably be more USD stack on that. In just a month, he made 20K USD with them as an external consultant, but now he's working on a fixed retainer for 10 months. So very insane. Really, really happy with the results that he got. And he said that he's now living his best life thanks to the Claymore model, the program, etc. And he's always grateful for what he's been learning inside the program. So let's just get into the rest of the video. So step one, I'd pick one skill I can sell to businesses and refuse to touch anything else. I'm not going to give you some AI slop. I'm not going to give you like learn this Claude process or whatever it is. This is where almost everyone gets it wrong before they even begin. I'd simply just pick one skill that solves a real problem for a business, and I'd literally ignore everything else. And this matters because when I was broke, I tried everything. I started hopping from every single model that you could possibly think of, drop shipping, social media marketing agency, every side hustle that looked like a lifeline, and none of them stuck for me. That was simply because I was spread across doing 10 things and doing all of them badly. Okay, I wasn't dialing in on one specific thing. And most people starting out do the exact same thing. They chase like 5 different business models, they try all these different strategies and wonder why nothing works. And then every day you spend exploring options, it's just another day you're not getting paid by the market. And the shiny object hopping isn't just really slow. It destroys your confidence because you never stick with anything long enough to get good. Okay. So if I started over, I just pick one thing. That could be anything. Something a business will actually pay for, like helping them get clients, because that's really where the money is. And businesses will always pay for more revenue. I have a background in sales. So for me, it was natural to do outbound and client acquisition. And for you, it might be something completely different, but the rule is the same. One skill aimed at businesses, and you get so good at it, you can promise a result over time. Because once you can promise a result, you can charge for it. And that's how you can start closing in the DMs without sales calls, etc. But that's basically more or less the whole foundation. And if you want to scale to 35K a month and even do that without sales calls like I did, that's what I help people do all the time. So I also helped Holly go from 8K a month to over 40K a month. And she does this without having to have sales calls for every single person that comes in. We only take on a few people every month for this. So if you're interested, just click the link below, book a call with myself directly, and we'll walk you through the process. And let's just get back into the rest of the video. So picking the skill is actually the easy part, because the moment you've got it, you hit the exact wall that stops most people. They've got the skill, but no clients or no audience. And they think they need to spend a year building one before anyone will start paying them. And that's completely wrong. So here's what I'd do. I'd steal a warm audience instead of building my own. I know it sounds crazy, but here's the big reason behind that. So if I started over, I would not waste a single day to build an audience from scratch. Like that's the last thing I would do. Okay, I'd simply just go and borrow someone else's, because building an audience first is like the biggest trap. And most people waste anywhere between 18 to 24 months posting into the void before they even make a single dollar. And they end up in a worse position than when they initially started. They believe followers equal clients, but attention without buying intent is worthless. It's all well and good having a 200,000 follower account on X or IG or whatever the case is, LinkedIn, whatever. But if nobody's buying from you, then it's just pointless, right? So there are people in your space at the same time who spent years building an audience full of the exact buyers you want. And you can talk to those buyers right now without a single follower of your own. So this is exactly what I did back in the day with less than 100 followers and what I'd do again. I'd find people in my space. For me personally, it's coaches, consultants, agency owners, sometimes other B2B companies who already have warm, engaged audiences. They're getting loads of comments, they're getting loads of views, like impressions, like whatever. And then I just go speak to those followers directly. Okay, I'd have a way of scraping them or reaching out to them, but in more of a warm manner. And the move is really simple. I reach out with something similar to this framework, and it's like, notice you follow a specific account, mention their name. We just helped the client get specific result and time frame, and then a call to action of your choice, which could be like, I created a quick video going over the same strategy we used. Do you want to see it? Can I show you how it works, etc.? Something along those lines. Because if you think about it, right, if we already follow the same people, I'm not really a cold stranger. We're in the same world, so it lands a little bit warmer. And that's how I close 1 to 3 clients a day for my done with you / done for you offers, right? You do not need a massive audience for this. You need to stand on the shoulders of ones that already exist, okay? Because these guys spent the time building the audience, and all you need to go in there is just siphon the ones from your competitors. Maybe your competitors haven't got around to speaking to these guys or offering them something or presenting an offer to these guys yet, but they're all hungry. They're still engaging every day. They're just not being hit up. So that's a perfect opportunity for you to come in and start speaking to these people and qualifying them for your offer. But getting the conversation is one thing. The second you tell someone the price, especially early on when you haven't got the biggest reputation, prospects will start to hesitate. So the way you package what you're selling decides whether they say yes or they end up ghosting you. So here's how I do it. I'd lead with something a bit more low friction, not like a scary big retainer on the front end. When I started over, I would not walk up to a stranger and ask for a huge retainer. I'd lead with something easy to say yes to. It almost feels silly to say no. So here's why the big offer kills you early on. A big upfront price typically creates more hesitation than it's worth. Too much money, too much risk, too much to think about all at once for the prospect. When nobody knows you yet, asking for the big number just triggers every objection in the book. Most beginners try to close the whole thing in one giant leap and simply watch the deal fall apart. And pushing hard for a big price when you're new makes you look desperate, which kills the trust instantly. So instead, I'd use what I call a low friction offer, which typically leads to these kind of conversations. Answer a few objections, pitch them a document, and they just pay in the DMs, okay? And that's all backed with clear deliverables, fast wins, and a small upfront. Somewhere in the $250 to $2,000 region to start with, something stupidly easy to say yes to. I once had a client object to a 3.5K month retainer, for example, then say yes to a 4,750 thing off a single WhatsApp message, purely because of how it was framed. I got them in with an easy yes, get them a quick win, prove that you're the real deal, and then the bigger offers happen naturally once the trust is there. And that's how you stack up to 35K a month plus fast without needing this massive audience or any other solution like paid ads or something, right? So that's the model in a nutshell. If I lost everything tomorrow, I had to rebuild a 35K a month business from scratch. This is exactly what I do. That's the whole path. And it's the same thing I've guided hundreds of students across. If you want my direct help doing this, packaging your offer, figuring out whose audience to steal from, and turning your skill into something people say yes to fast, just click the link below and grab a time with me, and I'll see you inside. Cheers.